Hi, folks. Are Japanese peanuts Mexican? Yes, they are. You're about to learn something about that if you didn't already know. Now, I was surprised. I learned this about 20 years ago from my wife. We're going to be taking a look at these right here. Taline Japanese style roasted peanuts. I have a couple of packages of these here, which I picked up recently. Let's take a look at where I found them, and then we'll go into the history of them just a little bit. Japanese style peanuts. Now, there's a history behind these. I believe these are probably from Mexico, and I can't read this because it's way too small. But there was a story about a Japanese immigrant into Mexico that basically created Japanese peanuts. So they're called Japanese peanuts, but technically they're Mexican. So I'm going to get a bunch of these. Look for a video on that soon. Found at Grocery Outlet, Oregon Market. Japanese peanuts. And here's that video on just that. This story was told to me by my wife, who is Japanese, I would say close to 20 years ago. I saw some of these in a grocery store in Texas, and I had tried them. In fact, one of my uncles loved these, but I didn't know anything about the history of them. And when I picked up a package of these shopping with my wife decades ago, I asked, "Have you ever tried these?" And she said, "Those are Mexican. Those were created in Mexico by a Japanese immigrant." Okay. Now we're going to go into the ingredients before I taste these, but let's go into the history. Who invented these? This gentleman right here, Yoshiki Nakatani. Now, Nakatani-san was born April 20th of 1910 in Japan. This is his immigration document here. On November 24th of 1932, Nakatani-san moved to Mexico. So he was young. You'll see his photo here on his immigration paper. Here he is with his wife, Emma. And here's a circa 1970s photo of the Nakatani family. And here's one of the original packages of Japanese peanuts from Mexico. Kachiwate Nippon. Okay, now unfortunately, Japan is misspelled on this package. The Japanese spelling for Japan is Nippon, which has two N's in it. So there's you a little bit of history, and if you'd like to go into it further, I would urge you to take a look at this website right here from Discover Nikkei. This is a project of the Japanese American National Museum. Photo credits to Discover Nikkei. You will see his immigration document here from 1932. Nakatani-san and his wife Emma from the Nakatani family collection. Japanese peanuts, which are Mexican, and one of the original packages right here. That is really good reading, and it is the most comprehensive and best story that I have ever found to document this. So let's take a look at the ones I'm tasting here. They're Taline brand. This is a pound bag right here, just under a pound, 900 grams. I have a sample pack of 1.58 ounces. Here's the back of the package. Let's zoom in on the ingredients. This is thanks to Google. That used to be a search engine, and now it just spits out AI results. Taline Japanese peanuts primarily consist of peanuts, wheat flour, sugar, and a blend of seasonings. The specific ingredients include peanuts, wheat flour, sugar, modified cornstarch, iodized salt, monosodium glutamate, paprika extract, and artificial coloring yellow number 6. They are manufactured and packaged in Mexico, thanks to Nakatani-san. So there's you a little bit of history on Japanese peanuts that are not Japanese. Nakatani-san was Japanese. Mexican or Japanese peanuts are Mexican. All right, let's go ahead and taste these here. Taline brand. These come in a lot of different brands. Oops. These come in a lot of different brands. Uh, shouldn't matter which brand that you get. The print on these, like I said, in the grocery store is extremely, extremely tiny, but it does in fact say that they are a product of Mexico. So here's what they look like. These have been one of my favorite snacks for many years. And I was always interested in that story of Nakatani-san. After my wife told me that, and she would know because she's Japanese. So here's what one looks like. Not that all Japanese people know the history of that, but she's a foodie. Okay, we'll leave it at that. All right, let's see what these taste like in this brand name. Tastes and aromas can last a lifetime. And these taste exactly the same as when I first tasted them nearly 20 years ago. I've tried many brands over the years. They're all pretty much the same. There are some spicy versions, which I don't believe that they were spicy originally, but they have the shell around the peanut shatters in a way that a peanut alone cannot. I guess that's the best way to describe it. It's really rewarding texture-wise. They're not sweet. It is just plain and pure peanut flavor. And I do get the wheat flour. The sugar is there, but it does not come across as being sweet. So try something new. Look for Japanese style peanuts from Mexico and give them a shot. Make sure to check out this website right here. Discover Nakai, a product or a project of JANM, the Japanese American National Museum. Japanese peanuts rock, and they're from Mexico, thanks to Nakatani-san. Until next time, happy food tasting, and peace out from California.